5 here.
Yeah, so I believe, yeah, both these players have no losses but a single draw to that.
Looks like Thomas may be going down to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have that confirmed.
And don't let the graphic fool you, but it is blue-green Enchantress, not black-green Enchantress. But
some of the highlights of a blue-green Enchantress deck.
This deck is wild.
Well, first of all,
and has wild growth.
And has Cloud of Fairies.
Oh, so basically, blue-green Enchantress deck. Probably when you think of Enchantress decks, you actually think of white-green, and there's like prison-type decks with Solitary Confinement.
Yes.
And Moe and Sterling Grove. Blue-green Enchantress decks don't have that luxury. You have you start with your Enchantress effects. 4 Argothian Enchantress, 4 Enchantress's Presence, and 4 Green Sun Zeniths to find your Argothian Enchantresses. Basically, those Argothian and Enchantress Presence. Whenever you play an Enchantress, you get to whenever you play an enchantment, you get to draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Mother
of Ruins.
So Mother of Ruins for Thomas Herzog. Mr. Andersen is playing Utopia Sprawl, which is, guess what? It's an enchantment. You enchant a land. Whenever the enchanted land is tapped for mana, you can produce an additional mana of the color of your choice. You have to choose the color when it comes into play. So it's going to be either blue or green.
Yeah. Well, he's going to take a fetch line, crack it right away.
Okay, so
at least
looks like Chris's hand is very, very good.
Yeah.
Looks like he has an Argothian Enchantress, which is an 0/1 with Shroud, with the Enchantress effect, and also has 2 copies of Seal of Removal, which is unsummoned, but in enchantment form. You sacrifice it to get the unsummon effect.
All right. Tap 2.
So
Thalia.
That's going to actually slow Chris down quite a bit. He's going to be able to play his Argothian Enchantress this turn. It looks like he drew a second copy of it. There we go. That's up on the screen. That wording is slightly off. You do not have to successfully cast. You just have to cast it.
Yes.
So the Oracle is slightly different than the actual card text.
And he did play Misty Rainforest also on his turn. Okay. A land for Thomas.
All right. So attacking it for 3 drops goes to 17, and it's actually going to be. He's got a Savannah in his hand. Savannah is for primarily, I believe, sideboarded cards.
Yeah, he has Green Sun Zenith also in his hand. Okay, there's a second one.
This is going to fetch, probably get a basic island. Getting basic lands are very important for the Enchantress deck, or just most Legacy decks in general. You need to protect yourself from the Wastelands out of the Maverick deck. But so yeah, 2 enchantments for Chris Andersen is very good.
All right, passes back after he plays
a Savannah.
Oh, Savannah.
And this will more than likely Seal of Removal will enter play.
Okay.
And draw Chris Andersen 2 cards. He has to pay 2 mana for it because of the Thalia.
Yes.
And Chris draws a Cloud of Fairies and a Misty Rainforest. So the way this deck combos off, it's once you play, gets a critical mass of Enchantresses in play. Usually 2 to 3 is enough. And then uses the Cloud of Fairies allow it to Knight of the Reliquary from Thomas. So basically, with the cards available, with the lands like the Utopia Sprawl and Wild Growth allow lands to make more than 1 mana. So that means the Cloud of Fairies will generate mana, because when it comes into play, it costs 2 mana. When it comes into play, it untaps 2 lands. So that generates mana. Also, the seal of removal can bounce the Cloud of Fairies itself. So you can make even more mana.
There's the Cloud of Fairies. 1 in a blue. Flying when it comes into play. Untap 2 lands. It is a 1/1 and you may cycle it for 2.
Pauper All-Star.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna crack another land here and go down to 13.
It'd be interesting to see when Chris decides that he wants to seal of removal the Talia to help him go off. Or if he even does, if he wants to just use the seal of removal to generate more mana and just go off through the Talia. Because you do have the
okay, there's 2.
seal of removal, draw 2 cards.
There's the third one, which you could say put it at critical mass, like you said.
So he might be trying to go off this turn, which is pretty insane, if you ask me.
Alright, tap
so,
2.
Yep.
Cloud of Fairies.
So Chris would really like another. No. Really an Enchantress. Huh.
Draft challenge competitors, your pairings or seedings for
Yeah, try to go off.
posted on
Next turn?
Yeah, I think he kind of just kind of
blue paper.
redid what he decided to do. So he's going to untap 2 lands with Cloud of Fairies. Haven't decided what he quite wanted to do quite yet. Go the Enchantress, and then a seal removal for 1 mana.
Which he can use to unsummon his Cloud of Fairies if he chooses to. But he has another Cloud of Fairies in his hand.
Yep. It's not making. It only makes 1 additional mana for him. So I think if I were Chris, I think Chris realizes that he should have waited a turn on his seal of removals, because he's actually ends up a mana short of being able to. He has no mana floating, and he cannot. He did not draw another 1 mana spell to continue his combo.
Yeah, even you could see the thought pattern going through his head, just like you said. How do I get to my number?
Oh, did he have a mana?
Yeah, he tapped 3. He tapped the land with the Utopia on it for 2, and then the one up there. So he had.
Yeah,
3,
he also
so
cast a Cloud of a Guardian Enchantress and a seal removal with that mana. Yeah, I don't believe.
Well, we'll see that here. We'll see it for a minute because he did tap the ones up on top.
All right, so if we undo the whole turn. All right, so seal removal is going to basically just be used to slow Thomas down by a ton. Chris has a Cloud of Fairies in play for Chump Blocker. In addition, he has 3 Shroud guys, and
It's like resetting. It's like resetting the board basically, with a minus some other runs.
so Chris has a Eternal Witness in his hand, I believe. One cool thing you can do in this deck is you can when you're not going off really, it's the Wirewood Symbiote plus Elvish Visionary combo.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, you can use Eternal Witness, get back Seal Removal, cast Seal Removal, draw a couple cards, get back, then unsummon your Eternal Witness and do it again.
All right.
It's not a regular play pattern in the deck, but it's a play pattern.
All right. It looks like he drew the land you're looking for. He has another island there in his hand, along with the Cloud of Fairies, along with the Green Sun Zenith. So he will swing for 2.
Swing for 1.
Or 1, I meant. Sorry, 1/1.
So, looks like we're going to see this Eternal Witness thing going on. Yep, Eternal Witness. I would like a Seal of Removal.
There it is. I'd like to play it and draw 6 cards, please.
3 for now.
Or 3. I'm sorry, 3. Yeah, 3. I keep thinking it gives 2 each, not 1.
That would be good.
There's the Misty Rainforest.
Some cards he's just going to pass.
Looks like he has another Eternal Witness in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to assume here that Thomas is going to try to somehow put some pressure on, because this board state's starting to clog up. He can bring in his Knight of the Reliquary, which looks like what he's going to potentially cast here. He tapped 3. Okay, we'll swing in for 2 first strike. He'll take it. And no.
7 library for 3 mana.
Because of the Thalia, he has to pay the additional 1 also. So, well, it will give Thomas the ability to look through more cards and have an opportunity to maybe find something he is looking for. Okay, Chris cracks the Misty Rainforest to get a forest.
Yeah. I do ask him what types of basic lands he was using. He's using the Euro lands.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, I had not seen the Euro forests, I believe. And he did not have an island in play when I asked him.
Well, the last match we had with the gentleman, the high tide match with all the different land types he had in there, all the islands, every.
Oh, the land station, mana base.
Yeah.
All right, so we play quite one of the more amusing cards in in Chris's deck, Carpet of Flowers. This is a blue poser basically, so it's not going to do anything. What it does is during your main phase, you can, you can add mana of any color, but it's only based on the number of islands your opponent has. So it's a very good mana engine against some of these slower blue decks. But
in this case, it is giving him the card drawing.
In this case, it draws 3 cards.
Yes.
In this case, it's merely Ancestral Recall.
4/1. Okay.
Right, so
Wild Growth.
This is when
Twice.
Yep. Seal removal is going to start bouncing his Cloud of Fairies. And that'll allow him to generate quite a bit of mana. So we'll see. We'll probably see one more Wild Growth. Yep, I believe that's an okay land to play. Maybe. I'm sure that's an okay land to play.
I don't think he played a land because he had.
All right, so we have a question in from Twitter. What is Enchantress's win condition? This particular one has a very convoluted win condition. Primarily, you use Words of Wind. We can get that up on stream. Words of Wind is a 3-mana blue enchantment that you pay 1, skip a draw, and then both players have to return a permanent. Well, you return Cloud of Fairies.
Yeah, which allows you to untap 2 lands.
Mm-hmm. Or sometimes you return an enchantment to get you more draw triggers. But basically, at some point, Chris is going to have more mana than he needs. He's got lots of Utopia Sprawls and Wild Growths on his forests. He's going to have at least 2 more Cloud of Fairies, because I see a seal removal in his hand and a seal removal in play, and those can return his Cloud of Fairies. So this is going to generate a bunch of mana.
Yeah.
So, and at the end of this, your opponent is left with 0 permanents because they have to return a permanent each time you activate
then he just
the words.
uses the Cloud of Fairies and it's over.
Yeah, right. If that's not your thing, there is 1 Living Wish and 1 Emrakul in the sideboard.
Okay. Which right now, in this case, at the rate Chris was going, he could get Emrakul to work. What I feel sorry for is Thomas has to really be paying attention here to everything that Chris does. You know, every trigger. How much mana does he have still floating? You know, because every step here means something to him.
Okay, so with the Words of Wind, you have 2 enchantments or 2 lands that make at least 5 mana, and then you have a Cloud of Fairies and 2 other enchantments. So you need a Cloud of Fairies, a Words of Wind.
Yes.
3 Wild Growth / Utopia Sprawls.
Which he already has.
Chris has plenty. Yeah. And then 2 other 1 mana enchantments. He has plenty. He has the Elephant Grass and the Carpet of Flowers and additional Wild Growth and Utopia.
I believe he's got 4 of them up there at the top there with the Elephant Grass, like you said.
Yeah.
And the other
seal of removal also works. So any of that, basically that's an infinite loop. You can keep doing that, and basically all the infinite loop is going to do is
he's showing him how to do it.
All your opponent scoop up all of his permanents.
Okay. Well, congratulations to Chris Andersen winning Game 1. We are round 5 of 8 of the SCG Open Series in Indianapolis, Indiana. Chris Andersen and Thomas Herzog are both 3-0-1, battling to stay alive, basically right now, because the 1 loss, 1 draw will basically knock them out of this due to the fact that
for the most part,
it'll knock them out of top 8. Still, they can be in very good position to make some solid money off the day. Never that there, but since we got a few moments in between rounds here, let's look and see what Thomas can do to bring in to stem the tide here. He has a Wheel of Sun and Moon, 3 Chokes, 1 Path to Exile, 1 Armageddon, 2 Aethersworn Canis, 3 Oblivion Ring, 1 Gaddock Teague, 1 Harmonic Sliver, 1 Fauna Shaman, and 1 Linvala, Keeper of Silence.
So the cards that are relevant here are going to be the Harmonic Sliver.
Yes.
That when it comes into play, it destroys an enchantment. It gives all slivers, destroy an enchantment. The Armageddon, also pretty relevant if you can destroy the lands that the that the Wild Growths and Utopia Scrolls are on.
Yes.
That is a very positive thing for him. The cards that are, and that gives them 2 cards to bring in. So, the Aethersworn Canonist gives them 4. That stops it. Chris will have to seal removal the Canonist before going off, and that gives him 4. However, he has some fairly mediocre. He has a fairly mediocre Stoneforge Mystic package for this matchup.
Yeah.
He has Umezawa's Jute, Sword of Fire and Ice, Sword of Light and Shadow, 2 Stoneforge Mystic. They all need to go. In addition, the Swords of Plowshares need to go.
Yeah, the Sword of
they
Plowshares
don't
do
really. The Jit can stay in, because it can pick off Cloud of Fairies, but it's not very good.
No.
So to make up the difference, Thomas has 3 Oblivion Rings that are pretty reasonable.
Like I said, the Oblivion Rings, the Harmonic Sliver, the Aethersworn Canis, that's 6 cards he can potentially bring in. Armageddon, 7, and if we're taking out the package, that's 1 Sword of Fire and Ice, 1 Light and Shadow, that's 2. Stoneforge Mystics is 4. He can easily get there. Sword of Plowshares, that's 8, so he can bring another card in. Chris Andersen, on the other hand,
Doesn't have much
No.
to change. He does have basically, because he has green Zenith, he can afford to play some sideboarded green creatures. He has Scavengers, Gaddock Teak, Harmonic Sliver. He also has a Verduran Enchantress he can either bring into Green Sun for or Living Wish for.
Emrakul?
Yeah, Emrakul is a card to wish for. Gives you an extra turn and kill.
Absolutely. Wow.
That's what he did in game 1.
Yep.
And
amazing.
but Chris has, I believe it is 2 Carpet of Flowers that he would like to take out of his deck. And not much to actually bring in his deck. I could see him bringing in Seal of Primordium, which
Okay.
is basically a naturalized enchantment.
Yes.
It's 1 in a green, sacrifice it to naturalize something. He doesn't have much else. He has cards for other matchups. He might bring in his Jace, but I don't think so.
I mean, really, I mean, he doesn't really need it in that case. I mean, it's a nice card to have as an option in the sideboard, but you know, I think the way his deck ran the first time with Thomas having very minimal answers to it.
Yeah.
Chris can feel very happy going into game 2 with this.
Yeah,
deck.
Thomas had his basically non-interactive draw. He did have Talia that slowed him down, but the Kazali Pride Mage is one of the better cards in Thomas's deck.
All right. So Thomas is looking over his hand. Looks like he has a Stoneforge Mystic, which he did not take out. As I can see that in his hand from here.
And Chris, he should be happy to know that his Argothian Enchantresses are very safe. They are not very easily destroyed.
Okay, there we go.
Oh wow! So Thomas played basically the Cheater Forest. It is a dried arbor that looks like a forest.
And Chris Andersen said, "I'll have none of that," and get that away quickly.
Yep. So Chris uses his Time Walk to play an Argothian Enchantress, basically. Basically, Chris stole the play from Thomas with his play. Alright, so Kazali Pride Mage comes down for Thomas, and I believe Chris is going to get to work pretty soon here. So it looks like Enchantress's presence. I'm going to come down. Be interesting. That's a very juicy target for Thomas to destroy.
Yes.
But I believe he is going to play it anyway.
Really? Okay.
It forces Thomas's hand on the Pride Mage. He still gets a draw card out of it because he has the Argothian Enchantress in play. I was also looking. I believe he's looking for a second green source, so he can cast multiple green cards at the same time.
Okay. Another fetch land there.
All right, so
Second
Pride
Pride
Mage.
Mage. He does have 3 of those in his deck
Yeah,
to
it's
begin
4 green
with.
suns to find him. So an attack for 4 because the Pride Mage has exalted.
Yeah, and it stacks, so it is a 4/4. Okay.
And then post combat, the Pride Mage sacrificed to destroy the Enchantress's presence. Pretty decent draw from this if he wants. So he's going to. Oh, he has a seal removal. That's excellent for him. If he can draw a land here.
Yes,
yep.
he did.
There's a Verdant Catacombs.
Which he will sacrifice right away.
And then he can use his Verdant Catacombs to get a forest. Forest enables Utopia Sprawl. And that'll give Chris 2 more cards and another mana to work with.
Yeah, it does
So
look-
Chris looking in very good shape. When Chris draws our Argothian Enchantresses specifically, those are the ones that Thomas cannot interact with, then this is in very good shape.
We get to see at the bottom of his deck, we got to see the fact that Chris brought in his own Harmonic Sliver
Okay.
as he was shuffling there and showing us the bottom of his deck. All right.
So Thomas with a Pride Mage in play, and a bunch of not too relevant enchantments in play for Chris. Like most of Chris's enchantments are not very good to destroy. Rather, they're better when they're better because they draw cards,
Yes.
not because of their effect.
No.
A lot of times they're chosen for their efficiency.
Okay, just for those of you at home that want to know, Chris did name green, so the forest will be able to tap for 2 greens with the sprawl on it.
The cheated Dryad Arbor comes down again. It may look like a forest, but if you look very closely in the bottom right hand corner, it has a power and toughness
Of 1/1.
It is a From the Vault Lands Dryad Arbor.
Alrighty.
Alright, so the Stoneforge Mystic fetches Muzar's Dite.
Alright, that looks... He's got 2 of those in his hand right there.
Yeah, so one thing I do if I'm Chris is like you could consider because you have an Enchantress's Presence in play.
Yes.
You can consider seal of removing the Ghazali Pride Mage. Right now. The alternative is just making do with 2 Argothians for now.
Alright, looks like he wants to do that. There it is.
Yep, he's gonna draw 2. Okay, so basically what Chris is pointing out is that the 2 draw triggers are on the stack.
Yes, and even if he does sacrifice it, he will still get the triggers.
He also can't sacrifice it until he draws the cards. The draw triggers go on top of the stack, and then so basically Chris will hold priority. Now Thomas can destroy the Enchantress's Presence, but Chris is going to get an extra card. He's going to get 3 cards from the Wild Growth that he put on his island. So heads up play by Chris, basically knowing how triggers work and how
Yes.
how things stack, and that he has priority first, and so he's gonna be in good shape here. He might be able, not positive that he'll be able to win this turn, but it's very possible.
He's setting himself up in a very good position here to take control of the game. Alright, so he tapped 1, which in reality was 2, for the Cloud of Fairies, which allowed him to untap both of his lands like that. Misty Rainforest will come into play, taking Chris down to 11. But right now, life doesn't really matter to him because he's just setting up the combo to win here.
And so it might be a discussion about the number of lands we played, and I believe Chris has played a land. He should have 1 more land because of the seal removal on the Dryad Arbor on turn 1.
Yes.
So, and yeah, Thomas has played a land. So, let's taking back the thing. Chris draws a Seal of Primordium. That's the first card in his hand there. But he's going with the cheaper option in Elephant Grass.
Elephant Grass. Wow.
Yeah, Elephant Grass is a fantastic card. Very narrow. You probably played only in Enchantress decks.
Yes.
But it's basically a propaganda effect. It's for a single green mana, your opponents have to play 2 to attack with their creatures each turn. It has cumulative upkeep of 1. But for 1 mana, it's a very potent propaganda effect. In addition, black creatures can't attack.
Yes.
It's one of those very strange flavor wordings, if you will.
And it's very relevant. As we saw in the last round, we saw Bug, and that does have some thing. Okay, so he's going to tap 4 for the seal. And
so I believe that's going to be an upheaval from Chris Andersen pretty soon. Upheaval targeting Thomas.
He brought in Jace. You're right. I guess he did. I guess he was going to bring in Jace. So not only does he want to win, he wants to win Bigger.
He's basically demonstrating that he can. Oh nope, he can't quite go up now. I think he could have. He just chose not to. He has a seal of removal in play, and I believe that's good enough to let him combo off. But
He might be waiting until next turn to make sure he's got his math right in his head to do it correctly. But you know, all he's got here is a Lonely Stoneforge Mystic and a Jit in his hand.
yeah, there's a seal of removal in play that's going to stop any those GTA stuff from shenanigans.
On the second Utopia Sprawl, he did name blue, so that land can tap for green, green, blue. Just so you know.
So another reliquary is cumulative upkeep on both of the and elephant grasses. Sorry, is not paid.
Okay, there's 5 mana right there.
I believe we're going to see a
6 elephant grass. All right, he's going to have to name another color here.
not the important part of it, but basically
No, but still, you know
he's
what I'm saying.
activating Words of Wind instead of drawing his cards. So each player is going to return 2 permanents.
All right.
Chris is I believe Chris is we can see his hands only. You really see what he's saying. There's a picture of him. Basically he's explaining to his opponent that what he's going to do. That the whole Cloud of Fairies, 2 enchantments, 2 lands that make 5 mana, you return all your permanents.
Yeah, I'm basically going to make you have nothing on the board at all times.
Okay. He's also got so basically Thomas is going to attempt to respond to this with a Swords to Plowshares on both of the Cloud of Fairies. But Chris is going to thwart that with a Seal of Removal on the second Cloud of Fairies, and so he'll be just fine.
All right.
Attention Magic players, we signed up for booster draft number 11. Please report
There it is.
Yep, Seal Removal.
booster draft number
Yeah,
11.
so you still have to get 2 permanents to bounce for each player. So Chris just bounces an already used land.
Yeah, and there goes 2 more lands back to.
So the Cloud of Fairies is going to net that. Chris is going to show Thomas another enchantment and go through the same thing again.
Okay, I believe that's 7.
Yeah, I mean the amount of mana is not too
Okay.
important because we're in the loop now.
Yeah, here comes the fairies. Yes.
He's gonna return 1 thing now, and then from now on he's gonna return 2 things.
Yeah, he just got another
Well,
seal.
he's gonna yeah, so basically the dice on the screen is basically how much mana Chris has. It's going to 2 and 1, so 2 green, 1 blue. And
Seal.
you don't generate a bunch of mana with this loop, but
And
Thomas's
just-
board is
He just scoops.
yep.
Congratulations to Chris Andersen, pushing to 4-0-1. Now headed on to round 6. 2 more rounds, potentially 7-0-1. Getting